Next year, we're celebrating 2026, our USA 250 event. It's going to be a lot of fun. The US Mint's going to come out with a lot of special coins from the cent all the way through our American Eagle program with special looks and feels. So stay tuned. It's not that far away, is it? But with all that said, we're spending a lot of time going back to our colonial era, the beginning of this country, and in some cases, the first coins ever struck and or used in this country prior to us kind of being there. And the US Mint made a gold dollar for the first time in 1849 after the gold rush in California. However, the gold dollar was part of the American fabric throughout the late 1700s and early 1800s. And it was legal tender on the books in this country until 1857. Do you know the coin? Do you remember the coin? Well, tonight I got a handful of them. It's going to be a lot of fun and wow on the price. So the early American coins were all based on the Spanish milled dollar, right? Because of all the silver finds and gold finds the Spanish conquistadors bumped into in Central America, South America, etc. They then would supply up our coastline, Florida all the way up, and on their journey back, and in the process, utilizing the coins for commerce. The coins that they would strike from, well, the Spanish government. The gold coin series was called the Escudo, and our gold coins today are based exactly on that system. 2.5, 5, 10, and 20, right? Our gold coins. Well, that's what you have basically with 8, 4, 2, 1. And then the $1 gold piece in the colonial era was known as the half Escudo. You're looking at them. This is the colonial time frame. This is the colonial gold piece. Now, our coins all date in the 1700s, late 1700s, which is when the coin was adopted and used here in this country. It was legal tender for almost 80 plus years, specifically spelled out as no longer needed in 1857. By then, the gold from California was in the books, right? We had enough of it being struck. We had our own gold dollar, so we could start stopping a number of these other coins, including the 8 real, which is the big silver dollar they made as well. But finding actual coins that are part of our fabric, kind of where we were versus where we are today. And this one is like the Bible. This is the poster child for it. Outright special. Now, if you look at early issue gold coins, we did make some 2.5s and some 5s, other denominations, bigger coins. But most of those were not intended for the American citizen to use in commerce. Because, well, think about it. At that time, $1 in gold was worth a lot. The wages for an individual were less than that on a weekly basis. So the bigger coins for government to government and or big business to big business type transactions. There wasn't I'll wire you money tomorrow, right? It was gold in a what? Well, what do you think the pirates did for a living, right? Raided the ships to find the gold that was being transferred back and forth between governments and or businesses around the world. And the powerful coin at this time, the world's coin, was the Spanish 8 real, the Spanish gold Escudo. And tonight we have them. For the first time this year, we had it once last year. So we're on the air, right? 5 hours a night, multiple nights, all 52 weeks of the year. And we are able to talk about this once in the year 2024. And the good news is we're talking about it again, finally, in 2025. You buy one, you buy two, here and there, but you're never going to find a bunch because they've been separated and pushed. And part of the reason is understanding the logic and going to the next step. If you're the US Mint and you're making gold coins and putting them in your look and feel, right? our legal tender U.S. coins. And we have no gold in this country. The gold finding was not until when? Well, Charlotte and Dahlonega were what? In the 1830s. San Francisco was in 1849, the California gold rush. So all the early gold coins were what? English, Spanish gold, Dutch gold, and it was melted and put into our look and feel, which means they're even more special because many of these were destroyed over time. The quality, these are all beautiful hand-selected circulated coins, as you're seeing on your screen. As I referenced, they're all dating in the late 1700s, give or take our time of independence, the 1770s, into the early 1780s, 1790s, when we were forming the U.S. Mint itself. The coin that was the backbone of our colonial period. Guys, give me a 1 minute clock, please. Only a few of these left exist. If I buy more than one, will I get different dates? Most likely. Most likely. I did not look to see how many 1774s versus 1778s we had, but I know there's a couple of different years mixed all in here. But they're all gorgeous, gorgeous, early colonial American gold. Legal tender. The coins that gave us the denominations the U.S. Mint would adapt later on. Half Escudo 1, 2, 4, 8 equals exactly the U.S. 1, 2.5, 5, 10, and 20 by weight and size, period. We mimicked that of the Spanish. They were legal tender in this country until 1857, when we finally had enough silver and gold to make everything else no longer part of the process, which means at that time even more of them were melted, by the way, wouldn't they be? If you can't use them in circulation, what do? I melt them down and now it's just an ingot, or it's melted down by the government itself. Tonight, not $5.99 to $6.99, where we've seen a few of our competitors with these coins. Our price, under $5, $4.99.95 while they last.